1, 2. I think it's going to be a 5-point turn. Because I can't quite make the 3 points on my driveway. Turn around. There we go. Go. Okay. Off to work. I might do an internet hole here. The way to Holly Springs. Sometimes run into it, not always. Which is kind of weird, so there we go. Okay, there we go. I think we're back again. Apparently I lost hit a hole right away, but I seem to be back at the moment. Turn this around. If I can. There we go. And I need to turn this up a little bit. Let's hope that'll stay. I'm not sure if it's going to stay or not. I was struggling with the phone mount. So I've got it connected to my vent, but the thing on the vent is actually very loose, and the weight of the phone brings it down instantly, so it's not very usable. So I've got it kind of clears with some coffee bottle caps and somebody put down a bunch of tree limbs over there. And a rock between them, just kind of giving it that support. Still trying to give you there we go. That's a little bit better. Don't know if that'll stay or not, but we'll try. Anyway, I must say that the Twitch streaming has improved over the last year. It was literally nearly a year ago that I was trying to do the game streams on this channel, and then I had some, personal time issues and computer issues and just stuff, and plus I was kind of getting burnt out and realized I don't really like doing I like doing occasional gaming streams, which I'm going to do with my daughter, Ember Sky Dragon. It was this morning streaming Pokemon Minecraft mod on Kick. It's Ember Sky Dragon and Friends. So she's there right now. But I'm going to probably do some streams with her on that. But me primarily, I'm going to be focusing on the real life stuff. I'm going to be doing I did a cooking and cleaning one this morning. Made a meal for the dogs, which they've enjoyed, and made some beef sausages and some bacon and eggs. Did Friday. I did an omelet for my youngest, who decided she didn't really want it this morning, but that's not entirely surprising. She's like that. And fried and scrambled eggs for my other daughter and myself. They don't mind, but the older daughter, she's put some away for other meal times, which is also pretty normal for her. So I have to eat a fairly decent breakfast when I can, because I have a physically strenuous job and only minimal time to eat between shifts. And by the time I get home, it's 11:30 at night, and all I can do is eat a little bit and go to bed. So, anyway, ADHD kicking in there. Squirrel. Pretty much, and it would fragment into all these pieces, and suddenly it had 15 pieces of the stream that you would have had to have used a video editor to put them back together if you wanted to move it onto YouTube, which is the only way to keep it long term, because Twitch doesn't keep this long, keeps it, the hot stage really, the first 7 days. I think they do it more if you're a partner and are being paid. So earlier, what's going on, and then it came back on. Most everything, the router had to restart, of course. So I literally had like 2 minutes that I couldn't broadcast. But I got back on and kept going, and when it finished, it actually didn't say that I'd been on an hour and a half, rather than just the result time, and it was only one stream, so that's really good. I'm actually impressed with that. I'm sorry, some of these notifications are on, so I'm impressed with that. Twitch is able to deal with that now in a much better fashion than it used to, so that's a good thing. Because that was like my first impression with Kick, knowing that we've got some internet holes around here. It kept on trying to reconnect. And in actual fact, Twitch did a better job of that today than Kick normally does. So that was good. Anyway, in the day of okay, so the thing about Kick is that you keep 95% of your subscriptions and stuff, whereas Twitch keeps 50%. However, 50% of, say, $10 is more than 95% of $5. So, and there's definitely more viewers on Twitch, so at some point, if I can afford it, and can work out how to use Streamlabs on the phone, because right now I'm having trouble with it and trying to get it to connect to Twitch. I got it connected to Kick with no problem, but Twitch is having a problem, so I may have to try to do it manually, which means I have to have time and energy and mental clarity all at the same time, which right now doesn't happen very often because I do have I'm so tired most of the time, so my job is strenuous and tiring both physically and mentally, because there's a lot of BS going on at work right now, which is painful. And so much drama. Anyway, I will try to avoid doxing my place of work, because I do need that job until I can get, a viable alternative, whether it's streaming or some other online remote job right now, which allow me to not have to make the hour commute twice a day. It's a mail truck, so I'm gonna have to be prepared to go around it. Keep adjusting that. Anyway, so I'm gonna work on. I haven't actually didn't think of a topic for today. Like I said, I've been streaming on Kick, so be sure to check us out there if you like any of the things I'm saying. I've been doing this morning, daily drive thing. I have not been putting it onto YouTube yet, but Kick doesn't have a nice, easy little transfer button the way that Twitch does. So another point in the favor of Twitch. So I'll probably work on that later. In the meantime, I've just kind of been getting used to the idea of streaming and narrating my life. So So yeah, what about us? That's probably what I should be doing since I haven't streamed on Twitch yet on this ID. And pardon the cracks in my windshield. My car is going to turn 245,000 miles today, and this oh my gosh, it's totally not going to stay in one place. If I stop at the stoplight in Holly Springs, I'll try to fix it, but it's just not going to do it. Don't know if I can without just totally destroying it. So, and I don't want to stop because I gotta get to work. Anyway, yeah, don't mind when red herrings get red herrings. My goodness, it's amazing. Can you say ADHD? Anyway, yeah, my car is going to be turning 245,000 miles. Either on the way to work or the way home from work. It's going to be really close. My job's right at there. It's because I'm at 244,958 right now, and that means 42 miles. I don't think it's 42 miles to work, but I could be wrong. It's darn close. Because I have to include the miles that I already took, and I know it's 18 miles from the house to Holly Springs. What the? Anyway, so yeah, my car is at 2004, and this model, I'm not going to give out the rest of the details, although it's going to end up being on farm live streams because I'm not going to go through that much effort to avoid it. And anyway, this car is rated for 250,000 miles, so for the engine, and that's something that obviously I'm not going to be replacing, because I know that's going to be around $10,000 that I don't have and not willing to borrow money for. I only know that because I know someone else who recently changed out an engine of the same brand, just a different model, and it was $9,000. I was like, why? It's up to them. I wouldn't have done it because I don't think the car was worth that much. Anyway, yeah, definitely not doing that. I'm going to need to get fuel today. I should probably build it on the way home. So, yeah, 250,000 miles and I'm at 245 as of today. I don't think my car is just going to poof and go bad in 5,000 miles, but it does need to be replaced this spring. I'll probably keep on repairing it enough to keep it running around here as long as it doesn't need something super expensive like a new transmission, which I'm not going to do, or a new drive shaft, which I'm not going to do, or a new engine, which I'm not going to do. Already did a new alternator, new battery, new starter, a bunch of new things this year. I should think it needs new brakes, but that's going to wait. It's not urgent. Just starting to get the early signs that it might need to be done. Obviously, if I have to get new tires, and new tires have them. If I can find some used ones, that would be good. There's not much point putting a lot of money into this thing now. So, yeah, windshield is not happening. And if it gets that bad, then I'm probably... I don't know. If it gets that bad, new windshield's not that expensive. You can get one for a couple $100. It's definitely cheaper than getting a new car. And I was originally thinking we were going to be getting a pickup, but I've got 2 travel dogs now. So I think we're going to end up having to do another, probably a midline SUV so I can it's large so we can handle the dogs and extra stuff in the back. Just have to see, I don't know. Depends on how much things are. So, yeah, anyway, we've got a 6.25 acre brand new homestead that we're building up in northern Mississippi. We just got a new mobile manufactured home put on it. That was a bit of a long story, and it'll end up being part of future streams, I'm sure. Just literally the only option we had. We needed to get this done, and that was the only option we had, so that's what happened. It's probably not the most economical way of getting what we needed, but it was what could be done at the time, and so that's what's happened. Anyway, 6 1/4 acres. We've got animals, we've got goats and chickens and geese and ducks and dogs and cats, and a few indoor animals like geckos and snakes, things like that too. So got a few things now. It's kind of good. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I actually grew up on acreage with animals, and I've spent my entire adult life trying to get back to that sort of point, and we're finally there. Better late than never, I guess, but I just feel like it's really late in the game. I'm in my early 50s. I've seen people on YouTube, though, who started later than me, literally in retirement. It's not too late. As long as you can do the stuff required on a homestead, then it's not too late. And learning the skills is good. Being able to pass it on to children and grandchildren is even better. Lights on. Lights on for the safety, as they say. That was a really dangerous pass. That was really dangerous. And oh my gosh, his engine stinks as well. I think I know why. Ooh, not good. Maybe the sort of thing where they were really worried that there was something wrong with my car. And he's going at least 65. This is a 55 zone line. Now it's 60. My car does not accelerate the way it used to. It does anymore. It's the way it is. I have to baby it a little bit. It's not a bad thing, But I'd like it to accelerate better, of course. But it's highly manageable. But I do need to get a new vehicle come spring because I've got to get up to the West Coast. This car's already been out there twice, and I don't want to try to make it do it a third time. I don't think it'll make it all the way there and back. So. Anyway, yeah. So, a few reasons why I'm streaming. So, I've got a farm to pay off. I've got a new car that I need to get. None of this stuff is optional stuff. I mean, the way that the world is right now, even that farm, that's not optional. This is something that may be related to our very survival in the future, in the not too distant future. And it's a place too that if my sons need to, they can come and crash. If they wanted to bring in a camper and hang out there for a few months or whatever, they could do that. I'm not going to say no. Members of the family, close friends, Pay it forward. I've had a lot of help from other people over the years. I'd love to be able to pay it forward. So that's okay. I guess that's another reason why I'm doing the streams, because I know there's a lot of stuff that I know that I can pass along last time I had a brand new frying pan that was it was one of these it's what the name was, nice little pan with white, I thought it was like ceramic type of that we're supposed to take pictures or something. Ceramic. It was a ceramic coating, but it wasn't ceramic coating. If it wasn't very good. It's something. I don't know. It burned off quickly. So within a year, I was wanting a new pan. And I'm like, why do I want to do this? Let's just get some cast iron. Cast iron will learn to live forever as long as you take care of it. So at that point, I'd already gotten to use cast iron literally on fires, open fires. And I spent most of 2016 off-grid, so off-grid that we didn't even have electricity other than small batteries. And I'm not talking about, normal off-grid type batteries. I'm not just cheap Dollar Tree batteries. And that's the only electricity we had. And I kid you not, the only thing I really missed, two things I missed. The first thing was computer/internet, and I'm lumping those together because kind of can't have one without the other for me. I missed that. Just going to the library once a week wasn't quite the same. And the other thing was a dishwasher. And strangely, I didn't have a dishwasher until recently again. So the 10 years since then, I've only had a dishwasher a total of about 8 months. 6 months at one point, and then 2 months now. That's the only times I've had a dishwasher in the last 10 years, and that's the thing I missed second most when I was off grid. I didn't even miss the washing machine as much, because I already knew I could wash it by hand. So I'd already done it. It worked okay. Laundromats are okay too. I don't have a washing machine at the moment. Hopefully get one soon, but so down. It's an interesting load there. So we had cast iron. So cooking with cast iron is a little bit of a learning curve, but once you learn how to do it, it's easy. It's no harder than any other pans, and I know I'm not going to have to ever replace them as long as I take care of them. And even when you abuse them a little bit, you can get them back as long as they're not actually cracked. Even once I've had some heat damage, you can still usually use them. They're just not as good, but you can still use them. I have a couple of pans that need reseasoning at the moment, so I'll show those at some point. One that's been abused recently. I've been literally sitting outside. I just haven't had time to deal with it. It's inside now, but it is rusted. I'm going to have to scour it pretty good. But I'm not going to use anything fancy. I'm going to just use some steel wool that doesn't have any chemicals added to it, and then we'll just go from there. And you'll see that it's going to shape up really nicely. Nothing wrong with it. Just needs a little TLC. Probably need to get a barbecue brush though, because I get where it's got the log engraved into the pan. It's rusty in there too, so probably a barbecue brush will get that out. And I'm not somebody who spends a lot of extra effort on things, so I'm not going to be doing anything that is super intensive. It's going to be kind of lazy because I don't want to put that much work into it. Another picture of a Doberman. I think it's a Doberman. I only know that because I've been learning about Dobermans because our youngest puppy is, she's a Doberman German Shepherd. It was dumped near us and we brought her home. She's a good little dog, smart as anything. I wouldn't have chosen that for myself to begin with, but you know, she's a good dog. She needs some training still. Something I'm working on when I have time, which is sadly nowhere near enough. Ooh, 31 miles until I'm at my 245,000 miles in this car. I think the sign is going to say 28 miles to Olive Branch. Not 26. I think I'm going to have to wait until this evening. So I'm not going all the way to Memphis for that. I think it's going to turn this evening. I'm not going to stream on the way home because it's going to be 10:30 at night. I don't even know if I'll get any color. Thank you for the one viewer I have. It's approaching noon in Mississippi. If you're watching, please comment where you are in the world, what time zone, what time it is, something like that. We get to know. Just kind of a little bit of fun. And maybe something that you would like to know about us. Oh, Kansas license plate, that's kind of cool. We are past the peak colors, the fall colors here in Mississippi. Nowhere near spectacular as it was up north, but I wasn't expecting that to be amazing. It was still nice. Colors were nice. I like it when they're on the ground too. I've got just enough leaves on the ground at home now that I was able to revamp the enclosure of our ball python with the two snakes we have. He was literally asleep when I was adding things to his enclosure, and I really thought he was going to wake up, and he's been a little bit feisty recently, so I was prepared to get my hands out of there and stuff in case he thinks that I'm just going to give him some food right now. So, but he literally didn't wake up while I was doing that, so it must have been kind of funny. He eventually woke up and kind of like, oh, what happened? He's got leaves all around him, and a couple of half-rotten branches and stuff with, so it was kind of fun. He definitely looked interested. It's good stimulation for him as well. So. This construction in this roadwork area, they've been working on something all summer. Now into the fall. They're doing something in the median. I'm not sure what they've been doing. I think that might just be as simple as planting grass. It's usually one person that's going 60 in this 60 zone. But by and large, people don't slow down for it. And to be completely fair, most states it's they say when workers are present on the construction speed limits, and there's very rarely any workers that we can actually see. Or if we do see them, and they're just one little spot. They've been doing a pretty good job moving this along. It's not really been too much of a slowdown. There was, I think, one day, and considering I've been going this direction, 5 days, at least 5 days out of 7 for the past 2.5 months or so. only being inconvenienced once is actually pretty dang good. So we're even two sections of one lane, and right now it's down to one section, which keeps moving along further and further. So here's where they're working. So they're doing some sort of smoothing work, I guess. You can't see it at all. Let's see if I can turn it. It's not going to work very well. Might be able to see if you're able to zoom in that on full screen or something. You might be able to see it. They're kind of doing some sort of grading work here. And possibly drainage bits in the middle and regrassing it, I think. It'd be nice if they were planting something more out there. Just grass. Grass is better than nothing. Okay, we're gonna speed up quickly. Speed limit 70, but people are regularly going around between 78 and 80. I try to stay right around 75. That's when I'm awake enough to do it safely. MH on that beginning of that stands for Marshall County. PW on the Bronco next to it was I'm not sure. I'm gonna think that might be Prentiss County. It's not Panola, because Panola, like, that's PA. It's kind of cool. The first two letters of the first two letters, and even if the letters are in the second group, but that's the first two letters of the random generated ones. The first two letters are for the county. And apparently this has been true in Mississippi since at least the 40s. And it's kind of cool. It took a while for me to realize that's what was going on, because we were in DeSoto County and all the, like this one that's coming up next to us here, this Nissan, it says DEI. And I thought, oh, we've just got, what's it here? A little too far away. Oh, there's an MIJ, that's Monroe County. So anyway, I was saying, man, DeSoto County was seeing DA, I think DB and DE. There's lots of DC as well. Yeah, DC, DD. And I didn't realize until I was at Marshall County realizing, oh, MH. Oh, it's my county. So kind of fun. There's a couple of other states that do things like that. Wyoming does it by a designated number. So you have to kind of know which numbers, the numbers were set by the population at the time that they set the numbers. Which is a little bit funny because you can't completely know just by knowing the population, but it's like, number one is Latrobe County, Casper, Wyoming, which is where we used to live. Because that was the most populous county when they said it. So it's actually kind of fun there because they put the number and then they have the famous Wyoming bronc rider. The bronc itself is named Steamboat. Anyway, so Steamboat. They've got the number, then Steamboat, then the rest of the plate random. And really, it's kind of funny because if you go to a state where they tickets or bills based on your license plate, the automatic cameras can't. They don't understand what to do with their voice. And really, sometimes it interprets it as a 5. So it literally messes it up. And they have no idea. So, fun fact. I'll show you one day because I still have my license plates from Wyoming. And the ones I had from Wisconsin and the one I had from Michigan because Michigan is a backplate state, as is Mississippi and Tennessee. That's kind of cool. Another fun fact. So, generally in these one-plate states, the front plate gets to be something kind of fun if you want to do it at all. A lot of people don't do it at all, but the people who do, it's usually something fun, your favorite sports team, your sorority or whatever, I still have mine that I picked up in Michigan. It says I loved UP. So I still love the UP, I'm happy not to have to winter it again. One of the reasons I went to the UP was because I loved snow. And I figured if there was a place that could cure me of my love for snow, it would be the UP, and it worked. There's no other place that could have cured me of my love for snow. Until then, I always wanted more snow. Always. And I found that had my limits. I wasn't fully expecting to completely other direction it end up in the south, but that's where we ended up being, and we like it, Mississippi. This is where we managed to finally get our place to live. Hopefully it's my forever home. And that's kind of the point. See, people used to hand down property from generation to generation. It used to be unusual to buy it, but it's so unusual that once you had your own place, it was passed down to the family. I've got a cousin that she lives on the farm that her mother lived on, and her grandfather lived on, farming on the way down. I don't know when it started because I don't know the rest of the story there, but I do know that part. I've seen that one before. It shows them a house similar to a house. Nice people did that. It's funny because, only slightly tangenting, but apparently my grandfather, when I didn't get to meet this one, but when he had his first turn signals, he literally signaled around every curve just because he could. Because it beat sticking your hand outside in the rain and wind, which was all the time in Oregon. And it beat that. It'd be interesting to see what his opinion would be now when people no longer signal at all. They just kind of move and they're like, what? Let's signal so that we know what we're doing and to try to prevent some accidents, maybe. Accidents almost never happen because of one error. They happen because of miscommunication and usually multiple errors. Okay, you guys gonna move in? Grab my notes. Sprout's an interesting color here. Toyota 4Runners. Stop looking at the cars and look at the road a little bit better. It's going to work better, especially since we seem to have a bit of wind. Domination. Domination, Domination. I'm doing that recently. It's in Domination instead of Domination. Which is I know the difference, it's just my mouth doesn't seem to know the difference. Okay, let's see how fast these guys are going, and there's a pickup that wants to go past me anyway. Going at about 70 and like a little faster than that, so I'm going to get my sunroof. That's sort of the thing I was looking at getting before I ended up with the second house dog. Actually, no. Yeah, second house dog. Oh, she's in Jake's, that's why. You know, I understand the whole thing that people don't like the sound of Jake brakes, but the fact is that it makes the truck safer. I don't know all the details because I'm not a truck driver, but I have been told. Man, that guy is really not paying attention to what he's doing. He was halfway off the road there. I'll just say once you hit the rumble strip, it feels like it kind of sucks you in, like driving through 2 inches of slush. If you've ever driven through 2 to 4 inches of slush, you know exactly what I mean. And how it kind of sucks at your tires and moves you directions that you don't want to go. Another reason I'm not the UP. It's alright. I learned how to drive in the snow, and then when we had snow down here this last winter, twice. We had 4 inches of snow twice. And I didn't have to worry about it too much. I mean, it's like I know how to drive in it, my car's good in it. Despite the fact that my car hates getting wet. It's a weird thing, and it doesn't like getting wet at all. I think it's down to spark plugs, but I think there might be something else going on too. But it's nobody's been able to give me any real answers on that, so I haven't taken it any further. So I did change half the spark plugs, so I couldn't get to the other half because you need a special tool, and just haven't got there. You know, I could spend $100 and have somebody put them in. Like I said, I could borrow a person and borrow one at AutoZone, but so I didn't buy them there. Well, actually, I did buy them there, but long enough time ago now, that's not going to help. So. Anyway, 3 spark plugs is better than 0, and it did a decent job. You know, the car definitely was behaving better in the rain and wasn't throwing up error codes every time, so it's been a long time since I've had an error code, so that's good. Yeah, 9 miles till the car turns 245,000 miles. I don't think it's going to take before work. we go through several thousand every day. And it's probably going to double that during peak. Yeah, so we're going to be at like between 5,000 and 8,000 bikes a day. And we don't have enough. And it's been a habitual problem since I've been working in the province. And there's no sign of it stopping. And when we run out of bags, then we end up having to use plastic, which is fine, except for the fact that it takes longer. We have to bag it more quickly, so it doesn't get too heavy. And then it takes twice as long to physically do that part. 3 times if I'm feeling overwhelmed because we've got too much stuff. And then we had a manager that decided to write up everybody who was in the row that has 90% of the work because we had our lights on. The lights, we didn't have empty lights, we had set lights. And we had them because we literally had too much work for the amount of people and without having the bags that we're supposed to have. All this trauma. And, most of us refused to sign the write-ups because it was not fair. But it still happens. And we know full well that you only need 3 write-ups for the same thing before they actually do terminate you. And my manager literally doesn't care because, there are new hires every day. She told me that. I told her you're going to lose your best workers. And she doesn't care. So, whatever. But I am feeling the anxiety from it right now. So, I need to get a new job. Which brings us back to streaming. Anyway, I am just taking my... There's going to be more pings, I think. Anyway, I'm just taking my exit. If you are local, you will know where I worked. Anybody else, you're going to have to wait until I don't need this job anymore, because then I will be talking about it, because there's a lot of stuff that people need to know about.